In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to fill out a car title in detail. I've already made previous videos on how to fill out a car title. However, I haven't made a full video where I show you filling out the front of the title, the top portion, and the bottom portion, and then as well as the back of the title. And I want to do that today. I've also given you some visuals here so you can see exactly where you need to fill this stuff out more than me just saying where to fill it out. Let's get started here. So getting started today, you can see up here, looking at the title, you can see there's nothing in the vehicle history box, which means it's a clean title. There's no branding of any type. So if it was a branded title, you would see it would say salvaged, hail, whatever damage or branding the title has. This one has none, so it's a clean title. Here's the owner's information right here. I just covered that up for my protection there. Also, it says seller here. So this first portion, this is what you need to pay attention to when you're having the seller fill out the title or the buyer. Both, obviously, we're going to be going over this. So first off, the seller is going to go ahead and date at the time that the day of the sale. You're also going to have the seller is going to put their signature here. Now, however, if in the owner's information there's two owners listed, not just one. So for example, let's say Jim and Mary. It says Jim and Mary. The and is where you're going to need to have two signatures from both of those sellers. So Jim is going to have to sign here, Mary's going to have to sign there. Now, if it says Jim or Mary, you're only going to need one signature. It's either or. So Mary or Jim could sign the title. Then you go down, you look at the odometer, you put the current odometer at the time that you sell the vehicle. Then you're going to go down here, and you'll see here that it says right here, you just have the seller do their signature there as well. And they're just going to date and sign right there. And then you can see where I've listed here, it says the buyer. Of course, the buyer is going to put their signature there. However, it's not necessary because this pink portion here, this whole entire pink portion goes to the buyer of the vehicle. So the person that purchases the vehicle, this is the portion that they keep and they turn in to DMV or AAA. Now, going here to lien holder, I just put that because, for example, you can see there's nothing in this box. There's no lien holder information, which basically means there's no liens against the vehicle. However, if there was a bank's information and all that stuff right there typed in to this box here, that lien holder, they will have to personally sign off on this title in order for this title to be transferred into the new owner's name. And then obviously they're going to put the release date as the time that the vehicle was paid off in full. So now we're going to look at the release of liability here. And this portion is going to be for the seller. So the seller of the vehicle takes this white portion, obviously you pull it off the pink portion. This white portion goes to the seller of the vehicle and they turn this in to DMV or AAA. I always recommend just doing it online, filling out the release of liability online. It clears in 24 hours versus having to turn it in person, which can take up to 2 weeks. So it's a lot easier, a lot more efficient, and it gets done a lot quicker. Anyways, so getting here, down, we can see on line A, it says new owner's last name. And if you're buying it into your company, you just put your company name there. Obviously, generally what happens, most people buy it for themselves personally. So you just put your name and other information here. So the buyer, the new owner, person who purchased the vehicle, is going to sign line A, B, C, and that's all you're going to do as the buyer. Now, the seller, obviously, again, this is going to be their portion that they turn in online, which I highly recommend. they are going to sign from line F to line J. So F, H, and J, the seller signs. So the seller of the vehicle signs that. Again, line A, B, and D, the buyer signs. Now, when we go over here to this information on the side here, it says odometer reading. You just put the current odometer of the vehicle at the time of the sale, obviously the date of the sale, and then the selling price. So whatever you as the seller and buyer agreed upon at the time of the purchase of the vehicle, you're just going to go ahead and fill out the amount that you agreed on buying the car for or selling the car for. Okay, so that's the amount that's going to go there in line G. And then obviously, as it states there, the seller's signature, and that's just basic. They'll just sign off on that. And again, it doesn't really matter because the seller is going to take this portion anyways. The only way that it really matters for the seller to sign here is if they're turning it in person at the DMV or AAA. Because when you do it online, it doesn't matter. You don't need that. You just need the new owner's information in order to put in online. And that's just basically that. And I also have a video on why you should always fill out a title, or excuse me, a release of liability online. Now, on to the back side of the title. And of course, as you can see, once the seller has taken their top portion here, which they're going to be filing online, again, I recommend that, that's going to leave the buyer with the pink portion. So they're going to be left with this whole portion here. And when you turn it around here on the back, it's basically just going to be this information here, and I'm going to go over that with you. So let's start here at the top. And now it says here at the top, you can see application for transfer by new owner, and that's to transfer this vehicle title into their name. So let's look here at the top. It says you just basically put your basic information, your name, address, all that sort of stuff, the city you live in, the county of your residence, your mailing address if it's different than your, different than the business or the residence that you're going to be transferring the vehicle into. And that's all listed right here. So obviously the buyer, as it says, new registered owner, well, you're not technically the new owner until it's transferred into your name, but you can see this is where the buyer is going to fill out all this information here, and it's very straightforward. As it all says, you just follow it along. Very easy to do, just your basic information. Now here's the thing. So when you go here, you can see it says right down here, it says signature of new registered owner. That's the buyer of the vehicle. They're going to go ahead and sign here. Now there's another one down here below that says signature of the new owner. And as I stated earlier about the and or Jim and Mary, or Jim or Mary, you can see here also up at the top here, now it says and or. So if there's going to be two people listed on the title, you can either choose and. So again, back to the front here where I have the sellers. Now in this information, if there's going to be two people listed here instead of one, you can have it as and, so Jim and Mary, to where if you go to sell the car in the future, both of your signatures are going to have to be here on both of these lines in order to transfer that vehicle out of your name. Now again, if it's or, it will be either or consigned on the title and transfer the vehicle out. Okay, so that's what the and or is, and that's again if there's two people going to be listed on the vehicle title. Now again, you just sign there down here at the bottom there of the new owner. You just put your driver's license information there, the date that you purchased the vehicle, and then also the price of the vehicle. So if it was a gift, you just put gift, and that's pretty much it. Basically, this portion right here, the price that you list the vehicle at, that you sold it, is how they're going to tax you on the vehicle. So obviously there's taxes on vehicles anytime you buy a vehicle. So anyways, if it's gifted, there's going to be no tax on that vehicle. And that's exactly what you need to do in order to get this car title transferred into your name and have the transaction done safely and properly. If you follow this video, you will get everything done properly, and you should have no issues getting that title into your name. Just make sure that the vehicle has been currently smogged within the last 90 days, because if it hasn't been smogged, that's going to be up to you as the new owner. In order to get the vehicle smogged, that's the last thing you're going to need in order to get the vehicle fully transferred into your name. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm going to bring you some more content here shortly. Thanks for watching. See you next time.